In today's video, we're going to see what we can do about installing Windows 10 with some level of privacy. Disclaimer, or let's just be honest, if you're using Microsoft Windows, you probably are not going to have guaranteed complete privacy on your computer. You can't really change the way Windows has its login script. You're going to go through the steps it's going to require you to go through. So we're just going to change some of our choices, our answers, our responses at those. We're using a virtual machine to install Windows 2. Everything else is the same. You'll be fine. Disclaimer, if Microsoft changes some of the options or the ability to do some of these options, they have adjusted them over the years. They may remove them. But right now, this works. December 2020, this works. For me, all the default settings are fine. English, time, keyboard. You can change those for your own needs. None of that's going to affect how we're going to do this. So now we're going to install. I'm going to say I don't have a product key. You would select this usually anyway. If you've had Windows on a computer before, the product key is stored on the motherboard. So you don't have to worry about trying to keep the keys or anything. Your motherboard already has it. So we're just going to say I don't have one. Later on, it'll automatically pick it up during the activation and get to the network and everything. It'll just grab it. You can check your activation at that point. Pretty soon, Windows 10 Home. We're going to agree to the license terms. For our purposes, we are not going to do an upgrade. This first option is how you keep your files, etc., etc. We're not doing that. We just basically want to do a clean install, because there's a good chance if you've already got a Windows installation with stuff in it that you may inherit settings out of that installation you did not want. We're going to go ahead and let it set for this. You don't have to create your partitions or anything. Windows does it for you. I will speed this part of the video up so you don't have to sit here for the real time. Well, looks like we finally got to the first reboot. It just took longer for it to install that virtual machine just to get the files on there in place for the first reboot than the Asus Tuf laptop was already done with its first set of updates off of Windows Update. Wow. Anyway, not the point of this video. Wow. We've already selected this at the beginning of this install. It's re-asking. Okay, let's get started. For us, yes, the region is United States. Pick whatever region you're in. Yes, US keyboard would be fine for us. There again, pick your own. We're not going to do a second keyboard. This is the beginning of the fun stuff. I could log into an internet, Wi-Fi, whatever else. We can't. Not yet. We're going to say I don't have internet. If you go with the internet, it's going to force you to log into a Microsoft account, which defeats the purpose of trying to have some level of privacy on here. We're going to go as far as we can to keep our privacy. This screen's basically a warning telling you you're going to lose all these benefits. We don't need any of them. So I'm going to say continue with limited setup. There's no difference. You're just not going to have Microsoft features. This is the second thing we're going to change. Never, ever, ever, ever put your name or any kind of identifying information in this line. Whatever your interest is, pick one of the characters out of it and use that as a name. I'm going to go for Gimli from Lord of the Rings and say next. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to put a password in so I don't have to keep re-entering it. I'm going to enter it later. In fact, I may not even put it because it's just a virtual machine, but you should have a password. Oh, another just a moment. This is the third thing we're going to do. We're going to turn off, say no to every one of these questions. I don't want it finding my device, that means it's tracking you. I don't want to know my location because it's tracking you. Online speech recognition, that's when it goes to Microsoft's, probably their Bing, but whichever, it's going to be a Microsoft AI. I'm not interested in helping train their AI or feed their AI information. Diagnostic data, etc., etc., etc. You can't just turn that off, so we'll set them the minimum. But you can read all these, but basically just turn them all off. And we're going to say accept. Does Cortana help you get things done? No, because Cortana hooks to Bing, and Bing is Microsoft. And there again, Cortana also works through some of the stuff with the Microsoft AI. Not interested in doing that. We're trying to keep some semblance of privacy as much as we can. Didn't have the microphone on for some of that. So far this is where we're at. We selected the option of no internet so that we're not forced to add or associate a Microsoft account or create a Microsoft account for this Windows installation. Next, we used a fictional character's name as the user. Then we went in and we said not now for Cortana. And we also said no to all of the obvious tracking. All those options, every last one of them are associated with some form of tracking, information gathering, etc., etc. Before we do anything, this might seem weird, but that's just simple procedure. We're going to go press the start button, go to settings, let me see, yeah, time and language, come on, region, additional date, time, and regional settings. I do not know why this is this buried. It just is. Internet time. We're going to change the settings. And we're going to switch time.windows.com to time.nist.gov. The other thing that automatically pops up is get started. So we're going to do the get started with Microsoft Edge. Do I intend on using Microsoft Edge? No. Personally, I only use it to grab other drivers, or I grab other web browsers with it. That's the only purpose of Microsoft Edge, in my opinion. I know it's Chromium and things are different, but so anyway, so we're going to complete setup. And there again, we're not going to sign in. We're going to choose continue without signing in. Interesting. I say continue without signing in, and they're trying to go to the internet. So that's where we're going to leave this video. This is the base install. Some level of privacy.